Hey everybody, good morning or good afternoon. Welcome back to MUFC vs. Everybody, and I am your host, Sean. And today I'm going to be doing my match preview of tomorrow's match against Crystal Palace away at Selhurst Park. And then I've got a little bit of news. Apologies for starting a little late today. I got to tell you, I just did not sleep very well last night. Was up for a few hours in the middle of the night. And typically, whenever that happens, I kind of know that the morning I'm gonna have like a migraine. And today I've had a migraine pretty much all morning. I am gonna close these blinds real quick because that's not helping. But took a couple hours just to kind of chill, close my eyes a little bit, and feeling a little better. But I didn't want to let that stop me from stopping by and sharing my match preview with you guys and giving you some of the news of the day as it relates to United. So I am here and I'm ready to go. Before we get started, please like the video. Please drop a thumbs up for your boy pushing through a migraine this morning. I do appreciate the support. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I think that would help my head feel a lot better. And then don't forget to go check me out at MUFC vs. Everybody on Twitter. But let's get stuck in. Anybody watching any of these other matches going on this morning? We got Villa, Brighton, and we got Chelsea, West Ham. Chelsea are currently up 3-0 against West Ham. And they have leapfrogged us into 7th place, it looks like. Same points at the moment, but they do have a few more goals than us, so they're ahead on goal differential. So it's looked like we spoke about yesterday in the roundup. We do need to really try to put in a good showing in the FA Cup final. It could very well be our best hope at Europa League. So we do need to win that. Obviously, every match right now is a must-win for us. Tomorrow's match is a must-win. Newcastle, Brighton, Arsenal, these are all must-wins. We can't worry too much about what other teams are doing. It doesn't really do anything. I do see the Ten Hag out crowd is out in full force this morning. I kind of feel like a lot of these guys were just waiting, for this Chelsea match. I feel like most of them are watching Chelsea more than United matches now because they're just waiting they've got the drafts, right? They've got the tweets and the posts all ready to go. Sack this manager, get this ball trot out of here. Chelsea are ahead of us. I get it. It's frustrating. But do you really want to sit there and get upset about that and post about it every single time a rival has a win and picks up points? I mean, we know where we are right now. We know what's going on. Yes, it's not been good enough. We've also had a lot of injuries. It is what it is. I just don't see the need to get all aggro about it every single week. Just be patient, support the club and the players and the manager as we can finish off the season, and just let the cards fall where they fall. There's nothing we can do about it. Yelling on Twitter is not going to do anything. It doesn't make you look tough. It doesn't make you a philosopher or anything. It's just with your clever thoughts. Just let it happen. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. So, but not supporting is not helping. So anyway, that's my little rant. So again, a little bit of news. Let's dive into the news first, shall we? So there's lots of clips going around right now of some of the penalties that have been awarded throughout the league this weekend. Obviously, Arsenal match, that was just a disgusting dive from Kai Havertz to win that pen. Saw a really, really soft one for Man City, a little bit of a coming together, not really a foul. Again, I'm not going to sit here and complain and point at referees, and it's academic, like we've spoken about. We've got a lot of calls that we should have had go for us that we didn't get. We've given away a lot of soft penalties. We've also given away a lot of stupid penalties and made a lot of stupid mistakes. I think at this point we can all agree that VAR and the standard of refereeing in the league is a bit of a joke. It's a bit of a farce, and it's a bit of an embarrassment for the league itself that they just can't get these calls consistent. So, like I said, a lot of posts going around, a lot of GIFs, a lot of videos comparing a lot of things. I mean, you guys can go check that out if you want to. But all I'll do is point again to my pinned tweet at the top of my profile on Twitter. It's just a simple hashtag scrap VAR. Add it to every post, add it to everything you want to do. It doesn't matter if it has anything to do with VAR. Just add it, get the hashtag going. Just scrap VAR. It's not fit for purpose. I know they're trying to make it seem like it's going to be better and better by starting next season, maybe explaining the decisions. It doesn't help. We we don't need to explain another incorrect decision. It's only going to make everybody more angry, I feel like. So I think we just need to get rid of it. We can forgive a incorrect decision in real time in the moment without the benefit of VAR. But when you have a room full of people looking at it, double checking it, and then you even go back to a monitor to double check it, there's no excuse for the inconsistencies and the incorrect decisions. So scrap VAR, get the hashtag going. We got a little bit of transfer news to talk about. So we have some news from Fabrizio Romano, obviously, transfer guru. This is regarding Jadon Sancho. So Borussia Dortmund director Kill, I think this is his last name, confirmed earlier that they want Sancho. He said, "We will try everything to keep Jadon Sancho here." The director continued to say, "But Manchester United also sees how well he is playing at the moment. Maybe they will also want to sell him for profit or bring him back. We will see." Sancho doing well at Dortmund. Dortmund doing well is only good for United in either way. If we keep Sancho, he's on a run of form. He's just rediscovered his form. His momentum is good. If we sell Sancho, we've already made a little bit of money off of bonuses. We might get it might drive his price up. It might start a bidding war, if he does well and Dortmund don't want to pay what we ask for. It's only good for us, is what I'm saying. So let Dortmund put out all the childish tweets they want. Let the director come out and say it, and let Sancho do whatever he wants. But at the same time, we have the power in this situation. So just let the chips fall. I saw a little bit of speculation yesterday regarding Marco Reus at Dortmund as well, sticking with Dortmund. So Reus is going to be a free agent this summer. He spent 12 years at Borussia Dortmund. He's been a mainstay at Dortmund for a long time, but he will be leaving for free this summer. So there's been some speculation because his agent was spotted at Old Trafford recently. So naturally, in football rules and football math, that means we must be signing him, right? So his agent, Dirk Hebel, he also represents a lot of other players, namely Jeremy Frimpong. So Jeremy Frimpong has the same agent as Marco Reus. The agent was spotted at Old Trafford. So obviously, we've been heavily linked with Jeremy Frimpong, and he's got a really, really affordable release clause. He's such a good player, generational wingback talent, in my opinion. Right up there with Trent Alexander-Arnold in terms of just the fullbacks right now, and just output. And to me, again, it's a no-brainer. So we know we've been heavily linked. We know that we've been keeping an eye on him. His agent was at Old Trafford. So I think that it's more likely that that's what's going on than we're looking at Marco Reus. Sir Jim has already complained about and criticized the Casemiro signing. I think Marco Reus would be more of the same. Obviously, he's free, but again, no such thing as a free agent in football. So we'll see what happens with Marco Reus, but I wouldn't think that he's coming to Old Trafford anytime soon. Sticking with some transfer news, the Mirror are reporting that United want Jared Branthwaite, Everton English defender, young guy having a decent season. Everton are struggling, but we've been heavily linked with Jared Branthwaite. He seems like the next big English center back, right up there with Mark Guéhi at Crystal Palace. But the Mirror reporting that United might try to include Harry Maguire in a deal to kind of maybe put ourselves ahead of the queue in terms of Jared Branthwaite transfers. So the article states that United could use Harry Maguire in a part exchange, so like Maguire plus cash for Jared Branthwaite in the summer. Obviously, in a perfect world, that would be, I think a lot of people would like that. I think Harry Maguire is not a bad defender. I think he would look good in an Everton side. Same as, he would look good in like a West Ham as well. But we don't really see these player plus cash deals happen very often. This isn't FIFA or FC24. This isn't a video game. It's very, very rare. I think that clubs like to get value for the players, especially with someone like Maguire. Not really a whole lot of sell-on value. I don't know how much Maguire would be valued right now. Let me know what you think. How much do you think Harry Maguire would sell for in the market? How much would you add on cash-wise with Harry Maguire for a deal for Branthwaite? I think it's hard because we know a lot of it depends on whether or not they get relegated. Obviously, they need money to satisfy some of these FFPs. They've been hit with some fines and some point deductions. And and they value Branthwaite very highly. Same with Amadou Onana. So their asking price could be higher than market value. But I think that let's say hypothetically the player plus gas deal happened, I would probably say Maguire plus like 40 million, 45 tops for Branthwaite, in my opinion. But Maguire is on some decent wages, so we'd get. I don't know if Everton would be. Maguire would have to take a wage cut to go anywhere, basically, because we pay him way too much. That is something that we've repeatedly done over the years. We pay players way too much. I've already spoken about Anthony's wages. He was on like £24,000 at Ajax, and then we pay him like $200,000. Like that is a disgrace. That in itself is sackable. And it's a big reason why we're struggling right now when it comes to FFP. Those wages alone are like 5, 10, 50. Any single high earner at the club right now is making like 15 million a year, between 5 and 15. And like Casemiro going, Varane going, Anthony maybe going, Sancho going, those guys going, that is going to free up like $20-25 million or pounds or whatever you want to call it. So people forget that the wages are a big deal. And that's why we're struggling to make FFP. That's why we're struggling to sell players. And that's a big thing that we're trying to change moving forward. Stretford Paddock, if you guys follow their channel, it's a good channel. They posted a question earlier, what has been our best window since Sir Alex Ferguson retired, basically. And I replied and said, if we get Dan Ashworth, if we get Jason Wilcox, if we get Omar Barada in for this transfer window and get them working, then I honestly feel like this window will be our best one. Aside from players or managers, just getting a handle on recruitment and structure and scouting and all of that, and then the financial side of recruitment, especially negotiations, getting a handle on all that moving forward, to me, is so much more important than anything else right now. We could save a lot of money. We could uncover hidden gems. We can get the wage structure under a manageable identity. And I think that could be so much more important than any one or two players. So hopefully we get this done. And I know Newcastle are trying to bring in their new director of football soon. And Dan Ashworth is, thinking about taking Newcastle to arbitration. Allegedly, we're covering the cost for that because we believe so highly. We need to get this done. It's like everything we do we make it so much more complicated. It's such a joke and it's such a shambles. And whether it's from the pitch to even things like this, it's just embarrassing at this point. A bunch of clowns. So we'll see what happens with Jared Branthwaite. Let's dive into my preview of Crystal Palace match. Obviously tomorrow, Monday. It's a Monday kickoff, 3 p.m. for me, 8 p.m. in the UK. So it's one of those. It's like going to a Europa League game or something. For the UK guys. Palace beat us earlier this season 1-0 at Old Trafford. I was there for that match. It was not fun. The crowd was not in a good mood that day. I was not in a good mood. I'm starting to think I'm bad luck, honestly, when it comes to when I take my trips over to Manchester. Because it was that same I try to squeeze in 2 matches when I go, which is why I try to go in the fall. Because when we're in Europe, I'm pretty much guaranteed 2 matches. I go to a league game and then I usually go to like Champions League. So this one I went to Champions League because I was at that Galatasaray match a few days later. But this was not a fun match. So hopefully the next time I go, which will hopefully be in the fall, hopefully we'll be in Europe and hopefully I won't be bad luck. Also, hopefully my buddy will come with me. So maybe he'll balance out my bad luck. I don't know, because he was with me last year when we went. And we did beat Real Betis. I think it was like 4-1 or something. So hopefully we'll see. Anyway, so Palace are in excellent form right now. They are unbeaten in their last 4 matches. This is actually their longest unbeaten run this season. They have 3 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw in their last 5. So their last loss was a little while ago. In their last match, they did draw 1-1 against Fulham. So the goals kind of dried up. But they did rest Eze for their last match. I think he was carrying a little something, and so they just, as a precaution, rested him. They played Ayew instead. But they also have beaten Newcastle 2-0. They beat West Ham 5-2. And they did beat Liverpool 1-0. Their last loss was against Man City. So they're on a really good run of form. Glasner has been doing a really good job since he coming. He's not a bad manager. I think a lot of people underrate managers from other leagues, whether it's like the Austrian league or the Dutch league or even the Portuguese league in some way. There are good managers out there. And I think that we need to be open to those, and players as well need to be more open to that. So as far as Palace goes, Jean-Philippe Mateta is their top scorer. He's got 11 goals, and he's been scoring for fun in recent weeks. He's been getting like 2 goals a game. I think not against Fulham, but I think a couple games before that, he had 2 matches where he had a couple goals each. He scored in each of their 5 home matches under Glasner. So Glasner's got him scoring. Obviously, they play that new formation, kind of that 3-4-2-1 with Mateta kind of as the focal point. Eze obviously is a danger man. He really causes problems in the final third. He's got a lot of movement, a lot of link-up play. He drops deep sometimes to come and kind of facilitate things. He's very, very dangerous. I think that if it's hard because we don't have someone mobile enough. Like this would be a match where I would be like, if we still had Ander Herrera, I'd be like, you know what? You remember that cup match against Hazard? Just stick to Eze like glue. Don't let him get any time and space on the ball, like at all. Like I wish we had a player who could do that. We just don't right now. And it's unfortunate because someone like Conrad Leimer would be great in that role. And then, of course, Michael Olise can cause a ton of problems on our left side, especially depending on who Ten Hag chooses to start at left back. I have a feeling that we're going to see Aaron Wan-Bissaka on the left to kind of hopefully lock up Olise, but we'll see. So Glasner's has been playing with that 3-4-2-1. Like I said, he pushed Nathaniel Klein to that right center back position, and he's using Munoz and Tyreek Mitchell as wing backs. Now we struggle when we have that overload between fullbacks and wingers on any given side. Our fullbacks tend to be a little indecisive. They don't know who to follow, who to leave, who to mark. And their positioning in general has not been great in the last several years. We've seen our fullbacks drift far too centrally to try to, block little passes or crosses. I don't know. We need to be focusing on the person with the ball first. And we need to stay a little wide, keep our shape a little better in that regard. The movement of Eze and Olise behind Mateta, combined with those overloading wingbacks, our injury-hit defense could be in for a very long day tomorrow. Maguire's not super mobile. If Casemiro starts, he's not super mobile, and his decision-making and his mentality in the last few weeks has been a bit shameful, in my opinion. He just doesn't look like his heart's in it, his mind's in it. He looks like he's just ready for it to be done. Like I said before, he looks like that senior in high school who's just looking at the clock on the last day, like their foot is on the chair, the desk, they're just waiting to go. This is what Casemiro looks like right now. So I could see that causing a lot of problems. Our fullbacks are really going to need to be switched on, and whoever plays in that pivot is really going to need to be alert and kind of help out in that regard. We might have to we're going to be away from home, so it's okay if we kind of just sit a little deeper and play a little counterattack. It's 4 matches left. Who cares what it looks like? Who cares if we're Man United or whatever? Just get it done. Get the points. That the points are the most important thing right now. I'd rather get points and qualify for Europe and win an FA Cup than have some imaginary style of play trophy, when we're 4 matches left. As far as United goes, or team news, Bruno is a doubt. Obviously, he's had that issue with his hand, but he's also been carrying an issue with his ankle. So Ten Hag has said recently it's doubtful. Rashford's doubtful as well. He's still in some discomfort. I think we've all been in discomfort watching him play this season, but that's neither here nor there. McTominay could be back. They were doing an assessment on his knee. He obviously hyperextended that knee, and he's supposed to be back in training this weekend. We'll see what happens with McTominay. I like McTominay a little further up. If he's fit and ready, I'd almost prefer to see him kind of playing in the 10 and having someone who is a little bit more football IQ, a little bit more aware, to sitting a little deeper. I think Mount could do a job deeper. Amrabat could even do a job deeper. But we'll see. McTominay didn't look bad the last time he played the full match. I mean, he actually helped out a lot. But without Bruno especially, we need someone who can cause some problems in the final third. And McTominay, unfortunately, has looked like our most dangerous player at times in the final third. So we'll see. Johnny Evans and Anthony Martial are back in training and could feature from the bench. If Evans is fit, though, because he just had that short-term issue, right? That small issue, and he's been out for weeks. If Evans is fit, dude, just play him. We need defenders in our back line, not makeshift back lines right now. Like, we need help. We only have one win in our last 5 league matches. We have 3 draws and 1 loss. So we're struggling right now. We're leaking very soft goals. We're leaking goals due to stupid individual errors, plus a few BS pens. Again, how is that a pen for Kai Havertz, that dive that he pulled yesterday? That is embarrassing. How is that a pen? And Garnacho, the contact from Burnley was not. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Hashtag scrap VAR, get it going. And then United, we also just can't seem to get anybody back fit. We get players fit, like McTominay came back, and then he lasted like 10 minutes and went off the other day. So we just can't seem to stay fit. We seem like we pick up a new injury every single week, and it's been the worst luck this season when it comes to injuries. Like, I'm not going to go full Jurgen and blame witches and blame Paul Tierney and blame a 12:30 kickoff time, because that's what you do when you're a joke of a club and a joke of a manager. But we do have horrible luck with injuries, and I think that we all know that. Palace have a very good chance of doing the double over us right now, and that could also land a major blow to our hopes of playing in Europe. Obviously, we spoke yesterday about the way we can qualify, and it seems right now the best chance, and it seems weird to say the best chance we have is to beat City in the FA Cup final, but right now, that's the only situation that's the only iteration of us making to the final that is actually in our hands. League position, a lot of that is out of our hands because we're relying on other teams to not pick up points, and we can't control that. We can control what we can control, and right now, all eyes on the final when it comes to our hopes there, it seems like. This could also be a 3rd consecutive home win for Palace as well. So we love to hand, opposition those kind of stats and those kind of records. Because we can't string 2 results together at the moment. We really can't. We thought we could get something against Burnley, and we didn't. And it's just, we can't see out games. We can't find our way over the finish line when it comes to getting results and securing points. And like I said, I think a few of our players have checked out, honestly. I think Rashford's checked out. Casemiro's checked out. I think Wan-Bissaka just never really looks checked in, if that makes sense. It's hard to get a read on Wan-Bissaka. He just never looks like anything bothers him. He's just chewing his gum, no facial expression. Even when he gave away that very soft pen against like Liverpool, and he gets right up and he just looks like John Legend when he's done singing, just nothing there. So it's interesting. But I think Garnacho looks tired, a little frustrated. We need everybody on. We've had a week between matches. There's no excuse for people not to be ready for this. We've had a week for people to recover a bit and get back fit. So no excuses. Finish the season strong. Play until you break. I imagine, as far as starting 11 is concerned, we'll probably see the same 11 as we did in our last match. Aside from Bruno, I think Bruno's probably the one that might miss out, but I do have this weird sneaking suspicion that he will play, despite what we've read and what I've said. I feel like Bruno is. I think that would be more of a Bruno decision than a Ten Hag decision if he plays. I think Bruno he wants to play. I don't think Bruno wants to miss a match, and he's willing to put himself through brick walls to help the team, which you want. But at the same time, there's that fine line, between when is it wiser to kind of sit one out and take a beat. We'll see. If Johnny Evans is fit, I'd play him in center back instead of Casemiro. I don't even know if I would start Casemiro, honestly, the way he's been playing. I do think we'll see Wan-Bissaka on the left to try to contain Elise, although I've said that in the past with other matches, and that hasn't happened. But I do think that that would be a strong possibility. if he switched on. I think that Wan-Bissaka, if Wan-Bissaka can do what he's supposed to do as a defender and force wide players wide instead of letting them come in, because Wan-Bissaka's biggest issue is when players get past him and he's got to chase them down into central areas. If you can chase him down on wide areas, he's fine. But when he's got to chase him into the central areas, then it becomes an issue, and you kind of have that feeling that it's just a pen waiting to happen. Mount, I think Mount should start if he's fit. It's a bit ridiculous that he hasn't been playing despite being on the bench and being fit and coming on. I think if he's on the bench, if he's fit, if you're giving him minutes, just start him. We need help. If Bruno's not playing, I wouldn't be surprised to see Mount playing as a 10. We might have to get a bit creative, because if McTominay is not fit, we do lack a bit of physicality in midfield. You could say, well, we have Casemiro. Casemiro he's done as far as I'm concerned. If McTominay is fit, we'll probably see him get ahead of Eriksen. Obviously, Eriksen started in that pivot last match, and it just wasn't working. Just no physicality in there. Eriksen is basically a red carpet for the opposition when we don't have the ball. So I think it might be Onana, Dalot on the right, Casemiro or Evans, depending on who's fit, Maguire, and then Wan-Bissaka on the left in the defense. I think we'll see Mainu and either McTominay, Eriksen in the pivot. I'm probably going to see Antony, Mount or Bruno as the 10 with Garnacho on the left, and Højlund up top, obviously. Not really much change there. It's just going to depend on if Evans and McTominay are fit or not, I think, and maybe Bruno is our only changes. I don't have a ton of confidence going into this one, given Palace's excellent form recently and our abysmal form all season, especially in recent weeks. I don't have too much hope for 3 points. I think, oddly enough, the Arsenal match and the Newcastle match, because this is the way we are right now, I think those are the matches we might surprise some people with, but who knows? Arsenal could be a hiding for all we know. So my prediction for this one is 2-2. I know we need points. I'm just also realistic, and I don't think we'll get all the points. I think it will be 2-2. We'll get another draw, and I think that's it. I think Garnacho and Maguire will get on the score sheet for us. I think Maguire's been in good form. He's been dangerous on set pieces. Obviously, he scored 2 headers in 2 consecutive matches recently. Garnacho has looked really good. He's getting the ball. He's getting into good positions. It's just that one extra touch, that one little extra time it takes for him to make a decision or get a shot away that's costing him. And I think that he's getting in enough good positions that I think this is the match that he'll grab a goal. So I think it will be Garnacho, Maguire. I think Mateta and Olise will get in for Palace. I think Mateta is it's going to be one of those little sneaky balls in behind or through our defense. We're going to call it ball watching, and Mateta's going to get on the end of one and just kind of tap it in. And I do think Olise might grab one from a free kick. So obviously he's got that dangerous left foot. I think he'll probably pick up a foul outside the box and put that one away. We don't want to be sitting here as Manchester United talking about draws against Burnley or Crystal Palace. I mean, that's not disrespect to Burnley or Crystal Palace, all right? It is what it is. But that's where we are right now as a club. We are drawing against Burnley and like Brentford's and things. We are struggling against Coventry Cities in the FA Cup semifinals. We are possibly not going into a match against Crystal Palace as favorites to win right now, and that's just where we are right now. You can say it's not good enough. You can say that United should not be in that position. And it's true. All those things can be true. But also what can be true is the fact that we are struggling with injuries right now. And a lot of our players just don't seem like they care. Both things can be true. It cannot be good enough. And we can have a lot of injuries. It's difficult. Like I said before, City lost how many, 3 out of 4 games? They lost 1 player to suspension, not even injury. And they fell apart. Newcastle were struggling early in the season. It's going to happen. We've had so many injuries, way more than any one club should really have to deal with in over the span of 5 seasons, let alone 1. And it's key positions. And so it's still difficult. But that is my prediction. 2-2. Away from home against Crystal Palace tomorrow. We got to watch Chelsea kind of climb over us in the league. What's the score right now? Let me check that while I'm live here. So Chelsea are now 4-0 up and over West Ham, and it doesn't look good. So they are in 7th. we are in 8th, 54 points. West Ham are still stuck in 9th with 49 points. So West Ham, we're safe. We're probably not going to be we won't be dropping down to 9th. So the worst we can get right now looks like it's going to be 8th, because West Ham have 49 points. They have 2 matches to go. We've got 2 matches in hand over West Ham, but their goal differential is actually -13. So they have 6 points to play for, and I think we're probably going to be fine. Oh, no, technically, no, wait, no. Yeah, we could drop down if they win their 2 matches and we lose. So scratch that. I was doing the math wrong. Didn't I tell you I had a migraine? So yeah, they're 5 points behind us, not 6. Sorry. So they could do it. They would have to win both, though. So the way they're playing, I don't see that happening. They don't have a win in their last 5 matches. So I think we're probably safe for 8th. Obviously that's not good enough. That's not where you want to be. It's not where I want to be. I'm just looking at the table in real time and letting you know what's going on. So that is my preview for today. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what starting 11 would look like. Let me know what your starting 11 prediction would be. Let me know your score predictions in the comments after the video. Please don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Don't forget to go check me out, MUFC vs. Everybody on Twitter. I probably will be just kind of tweeting throughout the match tomorrow. So if you want to follow along and interact, go for it in there. I'm not going to be doing any watch-alongs probably this season, just because of the logistics of my situation here. So I'm up in my library where I do a lot of my videos. My TV is downstairs. It's where I do a lot of my TV stuff. So it'd be difficult to do that. Plus, I don't sit down when I'm watching these matches. I've told you that before. Even at home, I'm standing up. I'm kind of pacing. I'm watching. I'm mobile. I'm burning a lot of calories. I'm getting a lot of steps in when I'm watching these matches. It's the same when I go to like a Loaded Dice Brewery or Big Up Loaded Dice. I'm not sitting down, and the guys and the girls there can attest to that. It's just I can't just be sedentary when I'm watching United. You got to be ready to celebrate, right? So I'm still waiting to celebrate. So anyway, that's my preview. Thank you guys for checking it out. Please, again, leave a comment. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on the match. Let me know just what you think of the channel so far, score predictions, and then let me know if you have any requests or any ideas or anything you'd like to see as far as content is concerned. Obviously, we've been doing a couple series here and there. We did a series on priority positions and players for United to maybe look at this summer. I just wrapped up my series early this week on managers that we've been heavily linked with. You know, like that series culminated in a nice video on Thomas Tuchel. I thought that was a really good video. Let me know if there's anything else. I probably will be doing like a keep, sell, loan kind of video later on. I'm hoping to see maybe I can get somebody to join me for that. I think you guys would probably enjoy it more if it was more than just me sitting here waffling on. And I think I would enjoy it more having someone to talk to. But let me know what else you think. Don't forget, in a couple weeks, that United treble documentary will be popping up on Amazon Prime. I will remind you of that as well. But until then, I will be back tomorrow after the match for my initial reaction. And then probably the next day, do 3 thoughts as always. So until then, enjoy your day, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Thanks. Take it easy.